Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to another New York Jets Free Agency Watch live stream. We will be live for the next couple of hours. Hopefully, we get some breaking news. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I missed you guys all night. Been live with you guys for a long time, all throughout the week. We got Ali in the stream today. Jack will be joining in shortly as well. We're going to get all the boys in. We got some news that I haven't talked about. We got a signing last night that we'll get into, Lamarcus Joyner. We find out that Juju Smith has re-signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we'll get into all the latest free agency news here on Jets Media in the stream. If you guys are new to the stream, make sure you smash that thumbs up button on your way in. And don't forget to subscribe to Jets Media as well. And also make sure you subscribe to Ali's YouTube channel, Official Loyal NY Jet Fan. So what's good, Ali? How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. Fifth day straight, and I'm getting a little antsy with all this stuff, but let's get started.
Yeah, man, let's get right into it. So we haven't talked about Lamarcus Joyner. I have not made a video on it because the news came out last night and I was drained and I was watching my Knicks. So I was like, you know what? I'll save my thoughts for Lamarcus Joyner until my stream tomorrow. And here we are. So what's your thoughts? And it's a one-year deal. We got our veteran presence in the safety. Now I think our safety room is going to look like Marcus May, Lamarcus Joyner, and Ashton Davis. So what's your thoughts on Lamarcus Joyner?
I liked it. I like the deal. I like bringing him in. He's versatile. I mean, he can also play free safety. He plays strong safety, and he can also play nickel corner. I mean, he has experience in all those three positions. So, adding that with Marcus May and Ashton Davis that we drafted last year in the third round from Cal, I think it's a good deal. I mean, it's a 1 year prove-it deal. I don't think he was very happy of his position in Oakland, but I believe it was Oakland. But I think it's a good signing. It's a good signing for the Jets. It's a good depth signing. I think the Jets needed some backup at safety position. Now we got to look at corner and see if the Jets can look at the corner position. There are a lot of corners out there, so hopefully they can hit on it. But I think Lamarcus Joyner was a great signing.
Yeah, man, it's one of those veteran presence that we needed. I feel like it's also someone that's going to come in here and help teach the young guys. It's a 1 year deal. It's not something that we gave an extremely a lot of money, guaranteed money for the future. And this is the type of signings that Joe Douglas is going to do. He's going to do the 1 year deals. The only big time guaranteed money he handed out so far are really young guys. Corey Davis and Carl Lawson are the two guys that he committed a lot of money to. And $30 million guaranteed to Carl Lawson, $27 million guaranteed to Corey Davis. That's a decent amount of money, and he's banking on them becoming way better than they were in the past, and I love those signings. So Lamarcus Joyner is the latest signing for the New York Jets, and expect more moves to be made today. We still have plenty of cap space remaining to fill out the roster. Like Ali said, we need to get some corners in the building. Richard Sherman remains unsigned. Adoree Jackson remains unsigned. We hear that Kyle Fuller is available now. I don't know if I'm too okay with Kyle Fuller, or I shouldn't say that. I don't think Joe Douglas is going to be in on him because I just don't feel like he would want to spend a lot of money, but we'll see. We also got Jack backstage. There he is. What's good, Jack? Welcome in, man.
What's up, boys? How are you?
What's going on, bro?
Representing the East Meadow High School.
Yeah.
What happened to the Jets beanie?
Dude, it's way too tight, honestly. I gotta stretch it out somehow because I just have a huge head, I guess, and it's just way too tight, like to the point where like I get like lightheaded how tight it is on my head. So I don't know. We're gonna have to stretch out that Jets beanie.
That's funny. So welcome into the stream, man. We got some news. We haven't talked about it yet. Lamarcus Joyner has signed with the Jets, veteran presence in the safety, and now our safety room is looking like Lamarcus Joyner, Marcus May, and Ashton Davis. So what's your thoughts on the signing?
I thought it was an interesting signing. Hopefully Ashton Davis will be really competing for that starting job. I mean, I feel like, Joyner's a proven guy, but he's never really been phenomenal. He's never really been like an elite player, you'd say, he's a solid piece to pick up, I'd say. I mean, I know he's getting up there in age, I don't know exactly how old he is, but I know he's been in the
30.
league for a while now. Yeah, he's 30 years old. So, yeah, I think it's hopefully like a depth signing. I don't know. That's how I view it. I hopefully we see a lot of improvement from Ashton Davis this year, and he could be holding his own out there. That'd be nice. Um, but yeah, it's interesting for sure. Good depth though.
Yeah, we needed depth in that safety position because me personally, I wasn't comfortable handing Ashton Davis a starting role right away because he hasn't really proved anything to me in his rookie season that he deserves to be our starting safety next to Marcus May. So I like how he went out there. He got a veteran presence. It's not like we signed him for long term. He's going to be here for 1 year, very cheap, and he's just going to be there with Marcus May. And I like the safety tandem. Let's get into Keelan Cole because we were never live when this happened. I went live when the news broke, but I want to hear what you guys have to think about our new receiver, who I think is going to be our wide receiver 4. We also find out that Juju has re-signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers, so that's out of the question, obviously. So our wide receiver depth is looking like Corey Davis, Denzel Mims, Jameson Crowder, and Keelan Cole. I'm liking that depth, to be honest. And then behind him, we got Vincent Smith and Jeff Smith and Lawrence Cager, and then expect some more rookies. I do expect us to be out of the wide receiver market in free agency. I think getting these two guys is solid. They're both very young. Keelan Cole is a punt returner as well. He's not just a receiver, so he's going to be competing for that starting gig. We also have Braxton Berrios, who's going to be in there and competing for the punt return as well. He's a good special teams guy. He's very young, and he low-key had a lot of flashy plays over in Jacksonville. So, Ali, what are your thoughts on the Jets signing Keelan Cole?
Yeah, this is a very underrated signing. I feel like in the beginning, people are like, no, this is not a great signing for the Jets, but because everyone was on the Juju Smith-Schuster watch. But this is a very underrated signing for the New York Jets, and I really like this signing because he's got everything. I mean, he has great hands. His great catch radius is absolutely insane. Obviously, he's not a slot guy; he's an outside guy, so that's what we need right now with Crowder securing that slot position with Juju Smith-Schuster signing with Steelers. Um, he's is a little bit on the older side with a 27 years old age, but he had his best season yet last season with 5 touchdowns, 55 catches, and 642 yards. So obviously he's not going to be the wide receiver 1 or a wide receiver 2. He's going to be a wide receiver 4 for us, but he's a much bigger upgrade than Brashad Perriman that we had last year because first of all, Cole can stay healthy, and I think he just can produce for your team. So I think this is a great signing for the Jets. He's an electrifying player, and even on the punt return, kick return, he could probably be a really big asset for this team. And I think they'll have fun with these. Him running the gun, and he can beat corners. He can literally just sprint right by them, and because he was on the Jacksonville Jaguars, you really couldn't do much, man. He was on the worst team in the NFL, so I think this is a good chance for him to redeem himself, and I think this is a really good signing for the Jets.
Yeah, man, I agree. And this is nuts. I was watching the Mets game, but Francisco Lindor just hit a grand slam, and I missed it. Shout out to all the Mets fans in the chat, hyping the chat for Lindor hitting a grand slam. Let's see it. That's sick. But Jack, I'll give it to you. What are your thoughts on the Jets signing Keelan Cole? He's going to be our wide receiver 4, and he's going to be a guy that is definitely going to be involved in the offense because the San Francisco 49ers offense that we're implementing in New York was a wide receiver by committee type of thing. The receivers 1 through 6 all got on the field. It's not just a one receiver gets all the volume. So what are your thoughts on Keelan Cole? Do you think he's going to have a crucial role in the Jets?
Yeah, I mean, for that reason, I like the signing a lot. I think that, similar to the Joyner signing, it's just a good depth move. He's a solid player. Like Ali said, he just didn't really get a chance to shine this year, but also ended the season with 5 touchdowns, which is actually the same amount that Corey Davis had last year. So I don't know. You can look at it from a couple different ways, man. I know there's people out there thinking that he's a scrub, but I'm more thinking like you guys are thinking. I think that he's a great addition to the wide receiver room right now. He's definitely an improvement from the guys we had last year. I don't trust guys. I don't really know how I feel about ever seeing Vincent Smith or Jeff Smith back out there again, dude. Like I'm kind of over that. I'm ready for this receiving core with Corey Davis and Denzel Mims and Jamison Crowder now. And Keelan Cole coming in when we're just gonna, spread the ball downfield and launch it. So I feel good about the signing, honestly. 1 year and it's not very expensive. I forget the number, but I know it's a cheap deal. So yeah, I think it's just a good move by Joe Douglas, just adding more depth to this team, getting his quote unquote value, players that are going to come here for, not necessarily a super long-term deal, but you have talent. You're going to come here. You're more the class, the tier B kind of free agents. That's where we're at right now. So I think he was a good move. And I think we'll definitely see a couple of highlights from him this year for sure.
Yeah, man, I agree. I also think that the Jets are going to draft 1 or 2 more receivers, so keep that into consideration. Our wide receiving group going into the season could be Denzel, Corey Davis, Crowder, Cole, and then a rookie as our 5th or rookie as our 6th as well. I like that. I think we need as much playmakers as possible. Joe Douglas and both Robert Saleh have said over and over again, we want to get dynamic, explosive playmakers, and Corey Davis fits that role, and Keelan Cole does as well. And now it's time to get some in the draft to pair up with young Denzel Mims. I'm super excited. I feel like this is another good move for the New York Jets. And I'm excited, man. If you guys are new to the stream, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. If you guys did not already, we got another long stream ahead of us. We got 96 people watching with 23 likes. Let's run up that thumbs up button and everybody spam in the chat who you want the Jets to sign next, because there's still a lot of players available, and I want to hear what you guys think and who you guys want, and we'll get into all that because the Jets are still going to be making moves. They're not done, and I'm excited to see who they're going to sign because it's going to be a very fun day, and hopefully we get some breaking news while we're live. Seems like every time we finish the live stream, they sign people at the end, but it's whatever. So let's talk about Juju going back to the Steelers. This is pretty interesting because I don't even know if the Jets are even in on it. All the reports I'm hearing is the Ravens offered him the most, the Chiefs offered him this, even the Eagles were in on it, and the Jets are not even being brought up in the discussions that they were in on it. So I don't know what Ian Rappaport was saying, but to me, it doesn't seem like the Jets are even in on Juju. He re-signs with the Steelers for way cheaper than the Ravens offered him for a 1-year, $8 million deal. So that's someone that want to take a discount to stay with his homegrown talent. And I think that's really interesting. What are your thoughts on Juju going back to the Steelers, Jack?
I didn't expect it. I know a lot of Steelers fans were hoping for it, but he ended up taking a 1-year, $8 million deal. Like, that's not what I expected out of Juju Smith-Schuster this offseason at all, man. I expected him to be locked up for a couple of years in a new organization. So for him to be taking a 1-year deal back with Pittsburgh, maybe he's, apparently there's the cap is going to be a lot bigger next year. And, maybe he's counting on making his bread next year. But who knows, man? All I know is that I was very surprised by that move when I saw it. But good for him, good for the Steelers organization. They're going to hang on to the guy that they brought in. So yeah, I'm not. It's not the end of the world at all. I think we're looking good at receiver right now.
Coyote says, if all free agents are leaning towards 1-year deals with the cap situation, hope of landing a bigger deal next year, should we be in on Galladay? I don't think the Jets are going to be in on Galladay because he's just not a really good fit for the Jets right now. Denzel Mims is the type of receiver that Kenny Galladay is, and we're hoping that Denzel can become Kenny Galladay. So I don't think Kenny Galladay to the Jets would make any sense, to be honest, because we got Corey Davis and Denzel Mims. Those are our 2 outside starting receivers, and then we get Jamison in the slot. I wouldn't be in on Galladay. I would spend the money elsewhere and draft a receiver, but that's my perspective. There's a lot of people in on Galladay. The Giants, another team came up out of nowhere that are into Galladay. I think the Bears were with him.
The Ravens.
That was a team. So we'll see what happens, but I do not expect Kenny Galladay coming to the Jets. So Ali, what are your thoughts on going after Philip Lindsay? Do you think we should pursue him?
Yeah, I think we talked about this yesterday. I know Jack is all over that, but Yeah, I mean, he's a perfect fit for it. I think he has like the athleticism and the speed that this offense needs. I think he would work perfectly in the scheme. I think I think yeah, he would just be an easy decision to bring in. I think he's coming off injury or something like that. So his price shouldn't be too high. And compared to what Marlon Mack got and Jamal Williams got, I think we could get him for pretty cheap, but obviously he's gonna have options elsewhere. But if the Jets can somehow grab him, I mean, it's a low risk, high reward type deal, and I think that's what the pattern of these signings are for Joe Douglas this offseason of low risk, high reward type signings. So we'll see what happens. But if we get Philip Lindsay, I would not mind it at all.
So Jack, we know you're really in on Philip Lindsay. So why do you think it would be a smart decision to bring him in?
I just think that it's so perfect for where the Jets are right now. Bring in a young dog like Philip Lindsay, who's coming off of an injury, so he's going to be at a little bit of a cheaper price compared to other running backs. I mean, we see what kind of deal Marlon Mack signed, to go back to Indianapolis 1 year, $2 million, something like that. So, I mean, you look at Philip Lindsay's stats. His rookie year, he was selected to the Pro Bowl, had 1,037 rushing yards, 9 touchdowns, and the next year he had 1,011 yards. So he's been a 1,000-yard rusher his first 2 seasons in the league, selected to the Pro Bowl his rookie year. I think for the price we could go and get him right now, he's young, he's explosive, he's got breakaway speed, he's got a chip on his shoulder. I think he's just like a perfect Joe Douglas type signing to bring into the team right now, and I would love to see that happen. Who knows if it's going to happen, but I would love that move, man. That would be probably my favorite move, honestly, so far, honestly. I said honestly like 7 times right there. I'm so excited about Philip Lindsay potentially coming here.
Yeah, man, we'll see. We have not yet made any moves on the running back position yet. We haven't made a lot of moves in a lot of positions, including the cornerback. We made one offensive line move, Dan Feeney, who's going to be more of a depth piece at guard, and he can also play center as well. Not too flashy of a signing, but he has a nice mustache and a mullet, so I think Jets fans are going to enjoy him. I'm definitely open for Philip Lindsay. His injury concerns is definitely going to bring the price down. He's young, and I think Douglas needs to bring in one free agent running back, and I think he fits the role of everything we want. He's good at outside zones. He's speedy. If you get him on the outside and the edge, he can get one cut and he's gone. And he has good vision. He has good feet and everything you want in a running back. And I'm really curious to see what Joe Douglas does. If Philip Lindsay's looking for a little bit more money and more long-term and Douglas doesn't want to do that, then I don't think he will, because I think Douglas, when it comes to the running back position, he wants to be as young as possible. And Philip Lindsay's not old at all. He's really young. But you guys saw that Philip Lindsay's first 2 years as an undrafted rookie was 1,000 yards his rookie season, 1,000 yards his sophomore season. And the running back position is very interesting in the NFL because you hit your prime on your rookie contract majority of the times. Like that's like one position in the NFL where the running back is at their peak when they're fresh out of college. They're fresh legs. They're young. When they get a little older, they lose a step. Unless you're a guy like Frank Gore or Adrian Peterson, where you're 30 plus and still playing at a high level. But I think Douglas is going to really want to stay young at the running back position, and Philip Lindsay fits the role of he's still young, he's a veteran, and I would definitely like him. I'm not getting my hopes up because it's definitely not 100% chance the Jets sign him, because who knows if Douglas is even interested in him at all. So we'll see. I think that Douglas definitely has a plan for all these positions, and they'll eventually unfold. It's hard to really speculate and judge this offseason until we get to see every single signing and every single trade and every single draft pick, and that's not going to happen until pretty much late April, early May. And that's when we can actually evaluate Joe Douglas's second offseason and get an idea of what his vision is for the future. Goat says, thanks for the hot takes. Hit that thumbs up button for the chat. Thank you, guys. Everyone listening, Goat. If you guys did not hit that thumbs up button, please make sure you do so. The goal of the stream is 100 likes. We got 40 likes with 137 people in there. Make sure you run up the thumbs up if you guys are enjoying the stream. Coyote says, I think our second round pick could land a top running back. Yeah, man, 34. There's definitely going to be running backs available. I do expect the Jets to trade that pick. That's just my gut. Joe Douglas traded his second pick last year and traded it down. I think we're going to trade that 34 pick down again. That's my perspective. I think Douglas is going to trade back multiple times because he keeps saying, I want to build through the draft, and the way you build through the draft is by trading down and acquiring as much capital as possible, because if you're a good GM, you can find value in any round from 1 through 7 and even in the undrafted pool. So I'm expecting him to trade down. We're going to get into way more mock drafts and way more draft profiles leading up to the draft, but right now it's free agency season, and hopefully we get some news to talk about. We finally got to see Justin Hardee talk to the media. We got to see Carl Lawson talk to the media. So, Ali, what are your thoughts on Justin Hardee's press conference? Because that was a very, very unique one. The reporters asked him, for those guys that did not see it, what makes you so good at special teams? Everyone says that you're special teams ace. And what drives you to be great? And he stood up and he points to his heart. And he says, I'm on the field every single day, and I play like I'm trying to feed my son. And I play for my mother, who's upstairs looking down on me. So he's a man of faith, and he really, really cares. And that is the epitome, the definition of a Robert Saleh, Joe Douglas type of guy. They want someone that's a really good, genuine person, high character, and cares about winning on another level. And I just feel like that's such an underrated signing because the Jets special teams was lacking last year. So, Ali, what are your thoughts on Justin Hardee's press conference? So what do you think he's going to bring to the table?
I mean, I got goosebumps listening to that stuff. When I saw that first tweet, when Costello tweeted out what he said and what he did, I was like, wow. I mean, we even had a guy say that, come on our team on his first presser and become a fan favorite. Like, he became a fan favorite after literally hours after he got announced that he was going to sign with the New York Jets. That's it. I understand where he's coming from too, because I also lost my dad 2-3 years ago. And, when I started reporting and doing a lot of podcast stuff, like, that's my dedication, right? That's what my dedication was. Try to do this more often, aim for that big goal, being on TV, be the popular guy and just make them proud, right? That's the end goal of this. It's not about the money. It's not really about that. It's just about respect, respecting, making your family proud and stuff like that. So, that's where, you see this stuff. And when I saw that, I almost got tears in my eyes, man, because he's like, I'm out there, I'm playing with my life. I mean, I remember Quan Alexander also. I remember one game he had to play when his brother died. And he went out and had a career game. He had 10 sacks. He was on fire. And, after the game, Jameis Winston came up to him. That's when Winston was there. And he was just like, man, this guy was playing his heart out just because of that. And that's what fuels a team, right? That kind of attitude in a football locker room, that's what fuels a team. That's what builds the culture. And that's what Joe Douglas is trying to do, is trying to build culture. The guys that are trying to come in, who are not the big time guys, they're not the big time players, but a lot of people respect them. They're a cultural changer. So I think that's what he brings in. And when I saw that, I'm like, damn, this guy's awesome. And everything he said was spot on. He wants to be a Jet. He wants to be here. And, I hope him the best. I think we're going to see a lot of flashes from him this year.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a fan favorite. I think he's definitely going to be the special teams captain. Later, Matthias Farley. Jack, what are your thoughts on Justin Hardee's press conference? So what do you think he's going to bring to the table?
Ali, that was some powerful stuff you were just saying right there, man. I know that was from the heart, and I respect it. And same deal with what I saw yesterday with Hardee. And he's just a player that when you see stuff like that, you're just excited to have him become a part of your organization. And like you said, Rich, he probably is gonna quickly become a fan favorite. And yeah, it's just it's an exciting sign because we have special teams is a big part of the game. And we need more explosiveness on special teams for sure. So I think he's a good person to bring in 100%.
Yeah, man, I think he's going to play with heart, and I really am a huge fan of that signing. So another player that talked to the media is Carl Lawson, and he looks like a a bubble of joy. He was a guy. He's just another infectious personality that this Jets team desperately needs because, as we know, there is a lack of it in this organization. We need somebody that can ignite fire and desire, as the great Clyde Frazier would say, in this organization. He also said that the reason why he wanted to come to the Jets is because of Robert Saleh. Before the Jets even hired Robert Saleh, he was looking up YouTube videos about him. And when the Jets hired him and he saw that the Jets defense is missing one glaring hole, and that's who it is. Carl Lawson is that edge rusher that's going to get to the quarterback. And he knew, like, it's a perfect scheme fit. I'd love Robert Saleh. I feel like he's a great coach. And he also was very excited to pair up with Quinnen Williams. So, Jack, what are your thoughts on hearing that Carl Lawson came to the Jets because of Robert Saleh and wanted to play alongside Quinnen Williams?
I mean, that's a fantastic thing to hear, man. I mean, that's what we're all hoping to hear as fans. And it just, solidifies that hiring Robert Saleh is already starting to change the way some people are viewing the New York Jets, and we haven't even, played a game yet. So it's just great to hear. I love the fact that he mentioned playing next to Quinnen as well, because I know ever since we signed Lawson, we've all been imagining what those guys are going to be doing together on the defensive front. So it's just a super positive thing.
Facts, man. So, Ali, what are your thoughts on the Carl Lawson's press conference?
He's gonna be another fan favorite. That's what Douglas is doing, man. He's bringing a culture in, and Carl Lawson, after that one video that came out of him on social media when he got all his Jets apparel, I mean, that's where I think everyone fell in love with Carl Lawson. And after the interview, I think he's just ready to go, man. He's ready to. He said he pretty much everything fits his scheme. This defense. He likes to coach. He pretty much he pretty much said that, like, look, I looked at all these videos on Robert Saleh, and I love this guy. I love this guy. I love his enthusiasm. I love his fire, and I think that's what this team needs, and I want to play for that. And that's what I said earlier, that Robert Saleh is going to attract so many guys just because of that. And it's awesome to see that, and to bring a guy like Lawson, who's a very underrated guy on my watch, that a lot of people have not looked at. I think he'll excel this year, and people are going to be shocked of how good he does. And then when you mentioned Quinnen Williams, I'm like, yes, that's what I've been waiting for. Now Quinnen Williams can have a buddy there that he likes, and I think Quinnen Williams and Carl Lawson are going to hit it off right away when they see each other. And that's the chemistry that we definitely need, right? That's the chemistry the Jets team needs. And again, this is an awesome signing. I think all the signings, I think Douglas is just getting a lot of hate for no reason, because these signings are pretty well done, and I think he's staying his ground on what he wants to do and what his goal is with this team. So you just let it happen. I think what he's trying to do is really well. He's getting depth player. He's getting guys that want to play, and they're not the top-headed guys, and he's looking at the top-headed guys, but he's not overpaying them. So, good looks for Joe Douglas, and keep going. We need some more corners.
Facts, man. I love the Carl Lawson signing. The more I get to know him, the more I get to see him talk to the media. He just is an infectious guy. Between him, Mekhi, and Quinnen, it's just three big dudes that love the game of football, that are goofy and just love everything, love life. They're just happy to be there, and I feel like that's the type of personalities you want to bring in. Lawson's making the most out of those three because Quinnen and Mekhi are still on their rookie contracts, but hopefully, I know this is a little too far ahead, but hopefully both Quinnen and Mekhi get paid on the Jets. So we got a Coyote asks, I think our second-round pick could land a top running back. Oh, yeah, I think we went over that already, right? Yeah.
I got some breaking news of Adoree Jackson is expected to visit the Giants, not the Jets. I know that's a fan favorite, but he's visiting the Giants. So
what's with the Giants visiting everybody? Like, right, Giants, just get away. All right.
I'd be sick if the Giants weren't a team.
Do you expect Joe Douglas to trade down from 2? I don't expect it, but I expect him to definitely think about that, because for Joe Douglas to say he wants to build through the draft, he is going to continue to say he's going to, think about every single option. If he wants to trade that pick down from 2 and say he's going to all these pro day quarterbacks, trading down from 2 does not guarantee that he's not going to take a quarterback and Sam Darnold's the guy. He can still trade down from 2 and take a guy like Trey Lance if he really likes him because he was at his pro day, and a lot of people are obsessed with Trey Lance. They think his potential is through the roof. This quarterback class is very interesting. So I definitely think Douglas is thinking about it, but I don't know what to expect. It's hard to predict, man. It really is hard to predict. Okay, guys. So we got breaking news about the Titans. Former first-round pick Adoree Jackson visiting with the Giants. The Bills are signing former Seahawks tight end Jacob Hollister.
These tight ends,
and Dan Mitchell quote tweets the report that the Bills are getting this tight end. He's like, waiter, this is not what I ordered. Dan Mitchell's not happy. What up, Dan? We should get him on here. Yeah, man. So we're still waiting on any breaking news about the Jets. Expect it to happen eventually. Let's get into Corey Davis because I feel like I just watched Good Morning Football's take on the Jets free agency signings, and they had some good things to say. Kyle Brandt, I don't know how to say his last name, Kyle Brandt, he is all on the keeping Sam Darnold train. He even said that Darnold's better than Tua and more talented. And he's like, they need to trade back and build around him because they can have the most talented roster on offense if they trade that pick down and have all that capital to surround Darnold. And the more he talks about it, the more I think about it. And then there's the other perspective. Nate Burleson's like, yeah, well, if Sam sucks and it's a disaster, like both sides of the spectrum is right. But they were really Nate Burleson, who was a former wide receiver himself. He was going off on Corey Davis, saying that that's a very, very good signing for the Jets. And they were like, is he a number 1 receiver? And he's like, 100%. He's a number 1 receiver. He was the number 1 receiver for the Titans before they drafted A.J. Brown. And then when A.J. Brown came in, he just took over the reins because he's more talented and he was just a better player. A.J. Brown was like, we know how good he is. So Corey Davis coming in here, he's getting a lot of money and the expectations should be high. He's also a very unique personality. He's like the opposite of Carl Lawson. He's very similar to Denzel Mims. I think Denzel Mims and Corey Davis are going to get along. Corey Davis is known to be a football maniac. Like he lives and breathes football. Like I'm just taking this all from Good Morning Football. This is what they were saying. They were saying that Corey Davis, like obviously everybody in the NFL loves football, but Corey Davis like lives for it. Like he just goes to the game, puts his nose down, gets to work, and he avoids any media. He goes back home, watches tape. And like Corey Davis is a due diligent worker. He's a perfectionist, and he's a former 5th overall pick. So the expectations should be high because we're giving him $27 million guaranteed, which is not cheap. So Jack, what are your thoughts on Corey Davis, and what are your expectations for him stats wise? Obviously, we don't even know who the hell his quarterback is, so it's hard to really think about it. But with Corey Davis being our true number 1 receiver, what are your expectations for him in his first year with the Jets?
I would expect exactly that. I would expect him to be the true number 1 receiver. I feel like we've been lacking that for a few years now. I don't know if you ever really wanted to call someone like Robbie Anderson or Quincy Enunwa a true number 1 receiver for the New York Jets. Like I would not at all. So I think Corey Davis could hopefully be that guy that whoever's playing quarterback is kind of like that security blanket. Like, all right, where's Corey? I feel like he was the 5th overall pick, I believe back in 2017 or 2016. So the guy's got talent. Like Richie said, he's a football guy. He lives and breathes football. So I think that he's just going to be a great addition to this offense, and whoever's throwing the ball is going to be looking for him a lot. And I think he's also going to complement Jamison Crowder and Denzel Mims very well, and hopefully allow Denzel Mims to break out and really shine this year. That's what I really want out of this year. Corey Davis is a great signing, and I'm so happy to have him, but I really want Corey Davis to hopefully free up Denzel Mims, and so Denzel Mims could have a monster year. Because we brought in Denzel Mims from the draft, as everybody knows, and I want to see a receiver that we drafted absolutely go off and become what I think could be our eventual number 1 receiver a few years down the road. That's the kind of upside I see in Denzel Mims. So I'm really looking for Corey Davis to complement his play this year as well. I think it's just a very good move.
Yeah, man, that's exactly how I'm thinking about it. I think Corey Davis is going to be the guy that defenses are going to game plan against, and they're going to put all their attention on Corey Davis. And what that's going to do is open up things for Denzel Mims even more. It's going to open things up for Jamison Crowder and, hey, even Keelan Cole. Keelan Cole was a guy that made a lot of plays in Jacksonville, the worst team in the NFL. He still finished with like 560 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns. That's not terrible for a backup receiver on a really bad team. I think that Corey Davis's potential is through the roof on this team. Ali, what are your thoughts on the Corey Davis signing? And do you think that he can be the true number 1 receiver? And should our expectations be he needs to get like upwards of 1,000 yards? Because if you're giving someone $27 million in guaranteed money at the receiver position, that's what Jets fans are going to be expecting.
Expectations should be high, because there's one thing I see in this is LaFleur and Corey Davis are a perfect match because of the play action. Last year, Davis gained 544 yards of his 984 receiving yards from play action plays. And he also averaged 5.2 yards per route on play action plays, the most in the league in 2020. So, when they went to free agency, LaFleur said, I want this guy on my team because this is what he runs. This is the scheme that he's going to run on offense, and this is how they're going to move the ball down the field. And, he's a physical threat. He knows how to get the ball. He's a physical guy. He knows how to run down and get the cornerback. He can do whatever this team wants. And LaFleur is going to have so much fun using him, and he should get every drive. He should probably get like 2-3 receptions. That's what's going to happen because he's just this offense could take another level with Corey Davis because of the play action this offense does. This scheme does for him. So I think, whether it's Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson, I think this game plan is going to work really well for this team. And I think Corey Davis, everyone should expect Corey Davis to have a breakout year, maybe even better than Tennessee from last season, because he's just going to be used so much more, and he's going to be either number 1 or number 2. And he's going to be used more because you don't have A.J. Brown on our team, right? We don't have an A.J. Brown. So I think this is a perfect fit for us. I think this is the guy that they wanted entirely in free agency. I don't think they wanted anyone else. Obviously, probably Allen Robinson or whatever it is, but they're gone. Corey Davis was the guy. They got their guy, and we'll see what happens. But I think this is a great fit. I think this is a perfect match for the Jets.
Me too, man. I'm really excited to see what he can do. We obviously don't know who our starting tight end is going to be. As of right now, it's Chris Herndon. We don't know. I don't think there's any really big tight ends available, so that's a hole that we need to fill. I'm comfortable with Herndon being out there on the field, but I definitely think they're going to tackle it in the draft at least, because Chris Herndon he cannot be the number 1 tight end going in without anybody fighting for the job, because Herndon was very scary last year. But I definitely do think that Chris Herndon has a chance to get that Adam Gase type of treatment when, you saw the Adam Gase watch in Miami. Whenever Gase left, you saw guys like Mike Gesicki blow up. You saw Devontae Parker blow up. There's a lot of players after Adam Gase left them, and playmakers and quarterbacks looked like they're very, very good. So, Jack, what are your thoughts on the tight end position for the Jets? And do you think that Chris Herndon has an opportunity to rebound this year? Or do you think that the Jets need to replace him? Or, what are your expectations for that tight end position?
Well, it's curious, man, because we talked about a very nice scenario a bunch of times yesterday where the Jets trade back to 8 with the Panthers and grab Kyle Pitts from the draft. So that would be insane. But as far as Chris Herndon goes, I think that, I would definitely feel comfortable with Chris Herndon being out there on the field. He was, making plays all over the field his rookie year. And, he's regressed since then under Gase. But I think that, he's definitely got some gas in the tank. I think he wants to prove himself now, that he's not a scrub. And, I still remember an incredible catch he made with one hand and then instantly took contact and just held on to it. I mean, if we can get that Chris Herndon back out on the field, which, he's still a super young guy, I think we can see that, then I'm super comfortable with that. But I mean, if we get an opportunity to trade back for a bunch of picks and then still get a kid like Kyle Pitts in the draft, like that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do.
Mike says, if Joe could work his magic and get former Pro Bowl guard Larry Warford to opt into playing, that would be a successful free agency. Also, a huge push for Fuller. Thanks, Mike, for the donation. Always appreciate you, man. Very generous. Ali, what are your thoughts on Mike's statement?
Yeah, I mean, Larry Warford, is he through trade? Is he a free agent?
Yeah, he's a free agent, I think.
And he's still available?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I thought he got signed. But yeah, I mean, if you land a Pro Bowler, I mean, what the Jets need is a veteran presence, right? They need depth. He would be a depth type of guy, right, to come in. So, yeah, if they can somehow get him in a very small deal, I mean, go ahead. And you need a veteran presence in this locker room, especially at the line. Especially if you're thinking of drafting like 3-4 linemen in the draft. Like, if you're trying to do that, you need some depth and some veteran presence so you can like you can teach them and like you need that little, not to worry if one of these rookies go down, someone can just get in there and know what to do. And I think Larry Warford could be that. Fuller, we should be a full court press on. I really do like Fuller. I think he can be a starting cornerback for us for like a couple more years. And I'm surprised he got released. I think it's a surprise for a lot of people. Obviously, his price tag is going to be a little bit, but you get a starting cornerback as soon as you sign him. I mean, he's not a depth guy. He's not just going to be there for no reason. He's going to be there for a starting position. So if you can somehow land Fuller and they can somehow work a magic to get Fuller, I would do a huge push for it. I don't see Douglas doing that the way the free agency is going. But if the Jets somehow like Fuller, I would go a full court press for him.
Interesting. So we got a Raiders fan tuning in. What's up, Bruce? Hi, Jets fan. I'm a Raiders fan. Joyner, really good player. That's good to hear because we got a new starting safety in Lamarcus Joyner, and he's going to be starting alongside Marcus May. And Ashtyn Davis is going to get definitely involved in different packages and different nickel packages. He could be playing slot corner. He can play in the box. So we got 3 safeties. 2 of them are veterans, and then the other one is a young guy that we're trying to develop to be part of the future. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate that. So we're still waiting on any new news for the New York Jets. Today has been slow so far. Yesterday, we signed Keelan Cole, and we signed Dan Feeney. So those are the 2 last moves for the New York Jets. We also have signed guys like Justin Hardee, Kyle Lawson, and Corey Davis. So it's picking up, guys. I think that we can expect a lot more moves to be made in the next couple of hours. At least I hope. If you guys are new to the stream and you're just clicking on it and you guys did not hit that thumbs up button, please make sure you do so. We're trying to get to 100 likes, and we got 72 likes right now. So let's run up that thumbs up button. If you guys are enjoying, do not forget to thumbs it up. Appreciate all the support as always. It's been a very fun week. We went live, I'm pretty sure, every day, Monday through Friday. And it's all because of you guys tuning in and giving us great questions in the chat and just sitting back and relaxing because we're all in this together. We're all sitting here being patient, waiting for breaking news, waiting for Joe Douglas to make a damn signing. And only one time out of all the signings, we were live for it. And that was Justin Hardee. So hopefully we get some breaking news sometime this stream, but who knows? So what should we talk about next? Let's see. Any news around the NFL? No news.
Always dead when we're live. It's so stupid.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we're bad luck charms. Adoree Jackson has interest from the Giants and Eagles and is discussing potentially setting up a meeting. Okay, so looks like the Jets are not in on Jackson at all.
Bummer.
We'll see. I mean, the Jets are so quiet with their pursuit. Like, we don't know anything until it happens. And I don't understand the whole Juju situation because it didn't look like the Jets were in it at all. Like, at all. We could talk about Kyle Fuller because the one problem with me and Kyle Fuller is whenever the Jets sign a cornerback that's 28 years old or higher, doesn't work. Pierre Desir and Tremaine Johnson just come to my brain, and those strike me as a disaster. I think Kyle Fuller is better than those two players, but I don't know, man. It just makes me a little worried, but we definitely have a glaring hole at the cornerback position, so any help is is fine. But we'll see. Any guys want to ask us any questions, feel free to do so in the chat because it's getting a little dead now, so we're trying to wait for some news.
I saw someone say that Kyle Pitts sucks or whatever, and I don't. I'm just gonna call this person out. What was his name? Prestige Shogun. Yeah, you're wrong. You're 100% wrong, dude.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I've seen some crazy.
I don't call people out, but that's a pretty bad take.
Richie Lindor hit a grand salami. Yeah, Benjamin, I saw that. I was going crazy before, and that was beautiful. They better extend
for a
it.
free agent tight end that I would like. I think Tyler Eifert would be a good. I mean, he would be very cheap. He's injury prone, so he'll be very cheap, and you can bring him in. I think you can get him for a really cheap deal. He was a Pro Bowler, I think, right, in his early years. But yeah, his injuries have. I think Chris Herndon and him would be a good punch if we don't trade down and get Kyle Pitts or whatever. I doubt that's gonna happen. But if that doesn't happen, I think bringing in Eifert would be not too bad. It wouldn't be like a big signing. It wouldn't like be a big contract, just to see how it works with Chris Herndon, because Eifert is more of a red zone target. Because I remember once I had him in fantasy, he'd have like 4 touchdowns, just red zone touchdowns, and then no yards. So, I mean, might as well give it a shot if they can like look at how much he's asking for.
John asks, who do you think the Jets need position-wise? I think the biggest need right now is offensive line still, cornerback, and tight end, running back. We got our edge rusher. What about you, Jack? What positions do you think should we focus on next?
Free agent wise, running back. Maybe I want Phillip Lindsay really badly. I think we're probably done free agent wise with the wide receiver position. I'm not sure what's left on the offensive line, but that's certainly a position we need to address in the first round of this draft. Yeah, I mean, offensive line for sure is probably the glaring need right now that we kind of missed out on in this free agency. But hopefully his plan all along was to just attack the offensive line with the draft, and I think he'll do that.
We should be just so thankful. Like, our offensive line is such a glaring need, but then we realize, like, wait, we have Mekhi Becton. Like, imagine we did not have a left tackle still. That would be really frustrating. So luckily we got Mekhi Becton to be hopefully our potential future franchise left tackle. But now we need to beef up the interior because that is a little worrisome. We got Connor McGovern, who's definitely going to be a starter. We're not going to replace him. We got George Fant, who's, as of right now, our starting right guard still. And our starting left guard is Alex Lewis. So basically our offensive line is the same from last year. No upgrades yet. I think that Douglas will tackle it in the draft and potentially trades. I think he's going to go through every single opportunity, and I'm just expecting this man to trade down to get picks and draft a lot of people to compete. Okay, so let's see. I saw something in the chat. What's your grade on Jets free agency so far? So, Lee, what's your grade on the Jets? Do you want to do individual player grades or overall? How would you grade Joe Douglas's free agency approach so far?
Give it a B as of now because we just don't know how these pickups are going to play out, obviously. But I think it's a B. I think I like his approach. You can't give him an A because you just don't know how these are. There's still holes to fill. There's still cornerback help that he needs, and there's still a lot more pickups he needs to put in. But right now, yeah, I would say a B. I like a lot of the signings that he did, the depth signings. I like Keelan Cole a lot. I think that's a really good addition. Joyner is also a good addition. I think Dan Feeney, also the offensive lineman that they signed, he was pretty good in college in Indiana. He was a pretty solid player, but then he completely was a complete opposite with the Chargers. So we'll see how he does. I think, he maybe needs a different place to start again, but he'll be a backup role, and I think he'll be a good depth signing for us for sure. But yeah, it's a good solid B.
What about you, Jack? What's your grade on the Jets' free agency approach so far, even though we're not done?
Yeah, so far I'd probably give it a B. Just because, like we all said, he's not going after the tier A guys yet. But I do think that he could have been more aggressive in pursuing a competent starting offensive lineman, and not Dan Feeney. So, I would give it a B, and I think that's fair. Even B- would probably be fair because the offensive line is such a incredibly glaring need right now for this team. So yeah, I mean, it's been a typical free agency for Joe Douglas. I think he's looking to get his value players. Guys are going to be coming here for cheap. But, it gets to a point where you have a lot of holes on this team that still haven't been addressed, almost a week into free agency now. So it's, I say B-, B, that area for sure. He can still, he still has time, obviously, to improve the team before the draft. But yeah, I think guys like Lawson is going to be I think that's going to pay off the most probably. If I had to guess which signing this year would pay off the most for the Jets, I'd probably go with Lawson. Really excited to see what Lawson's going to be doing on the edge. So it hasn't been a total flop. It hasn't been the greatest free agency of all times. I think we're kind of somewhere right in the middle right now.
Interesting. I'm going to give Douglas a B+ for me personally, just because of his approach. Potentially even an A-, just because I am so thankful that we have somebody that have a long-term vision, and we have had the second most cap space in the NFL, and we did not spend it all over the place on guys with 5-year deals with the most guaranteed money in history like we usually do. I'm just very thankful we don't have that anymore because he has a long-term vision, and he understands that this team is far away from being a Super Bowl contender. If you want to get the short fix and you want to go all in next year, then yeah, you go out and get 3 players for the most amount of money and you win the offseason and you end up paying the most guaranteed money in the NFL. That never works out. If you look at the history, the Jets have spent the most guaranteed money in the NFL since 2015. The Jets have had the worst record in the NFL since 2015. That right there tells you that spending big money does not guarantee wins. So everybody that's pounding the table for all the top tier talent in the free agency, that does not necessarily mean we're going to win. Just because you want Kenny Golladay on your fantasy football team on the Jets does not mean it's going to win us some ball games. So that's how I look at it. So that's why I'm giving him an A-, B+ range, because I'm more looking at it as his approach and the money that he did invest into. He did it in glaring needs. The edge rusher. We've never had an edge rusher like Carl Lawson in a long time. Carl Lawson is going to come in here. We gave him a really good contract, 3 years, $45 million and $30 million guaranteed. That's not a cheap deal. That's not a super expensive deal. That's definitely a really good signing for Joe Douglas and its value. It's not like we're spending money on somebody that's hit his peak in the past. I think his potential has yet to be seen, and he's going to have his best football career on the New York Jets because he's only 25 years old. Same with Corey Davis. We gave him $27 million guaranteed in 3 years. He's only 26 years old. The best is yet to come for him. So that's why I like this approach. He's going into this free agency with a way different mindset than previous Jets general managers, where they put all their energy into free agency and they kind of forget about the draft and they do not assess where they need to be because they have short-term mindsets. So that's why I'm giving Douglas an A- B+ because I love the long-term thinking. I know fans don't like that approach, but I'm telling you, 3 years down the line, you'll be thanking what Joe Douglas did now. This is how unfortunate it is that this Jets team has been so bad for a decade because general managers have set them up to fail in the future because they sacrifice money, they trade for crazy contracts, and they don't even address the offensive line. Like, you guys know what past GMs did. So that's why I'm very happy and thankful that Douglas has a long-term vision because we've never had somebody that actually understands value in the free agency. He said over and over again, he's using free agency to supplement the roster because his main approach is to build through the draft. And that's why I love his free agency approach because if you look what the Patriots just did. I mean, the Patriots, their dynasty run, they never spent this much guaranteed money. Now that they lost Tom Brady and they missed the playoffs, Bill Belichick's like, all right, we got to change our approach. I mean, it worked when we had the greatest quarterback of all time with Brady and just, spending cheap and building through the draft. But now we have to actually go get real players. And we'll see how that works out with the Patriots. But I think that Jets fans that are upset with Douglas in free agency that he's not spending money on the big ticket guys, you have to realize it's never worked for the Jets. It's never, ever worked. When we got Trumaine Johnson, it was absolutely atrocious, as we know. When we got C.J. Mosley, he's played a total of 2 games in 2 years, and he got the highest paid contract in NFL history of the inside linebacker at the time. And then Le'Veon Bell was a joke of a signing, gave him so much money, and he was absolutely terrible. I love Le'Veon Bell. I'm not saying I was against the signing. I was rooting for him, but it was just bad. The C.J. Mosley signing, the Trumaine Johnson signing, and the Le'Veon Bell signing. All 3 of those have something in common. C.J. Mosley, 4-time Pro Bowler, not on the Jets. What Mike McCagnon did is he paid a lot of money for a player that hit his peak. Trumaine Johnson, he was a very good football player for the Rams. Very good. That's why McCagnon gave him the money. And then Trumaine Johnson's like, all right, got my money, and then he sucked on the Jets. He hit his peak. Le'Veon Bell hit his peak on the Steelers. We gave him all the money. Joe Douglas is not going to give you money for previously hitting your peak. He's going to use free agency for young talent, find value in saying, I want this player because I want him to hit his peak on my team. I'm not going to pay you a lot of money because you were good on that team. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's why I think Joe Douglas gets an A- for me because it's a different approach. And I love that his mindset is to build through the draft because that's actually what you have to do in order to build a sustainable winner and be a Super Bowl contender year in and year out. And we're far away from that. It's unfortunate. I'm sorry to give you guys the breaking news that the Jets are not going to be in the Super Bowl this year. We have so many holes all over the roster, and you think Joe Douglas doesn't know that? Douglas knows exactly what needs to be done, and he is stretching it out. You need to have a long-term vision in anything in life. No matter what type of goals you want to have, whether it's being successful in a job, you want to build your own business, you want to do this in life, you want to get this job, you want to be happy, you want to own a house. If you don't set out long-term goals for the future, you're not going to get there. And that's what Joe Douglas is doing. And we've never had somebody with that long-term vision. So that's what my free agency grade is for Joe Douglas. That is a really long grade, but that's how I feel. So you like that?
I do.
You have anything to add? Or no?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, so we're still waiting on some Jets news. Hopefully we can get some. We got 200 people chilling in this chat with us. What's good, everybody? We got 4 more likes until we hit 100. If you guys are new to the stream, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Greatly appreciate everybody tuning in to Jets Media. So we've been live for a total of 1 hour, and we're waiting on some news. Still haven't got any. We got somebody saying no one likes the Jets, even though the 3 people on the screen do indeed love the Jets. Sorry to break it to you. William says you hit it, bro. 100% right. Joe Douglas gets an A+. Thank you, William. Appreciate you agreeing with me. Not a lot of people see that vision of Douglas, so I appreciate you seeing that, man. Overall, it's not over, but I definitely give the Jets an A-. Yeah, Anthony, that's my grade as well. Richie is preaching. I hope you guys are listening. Facts, JC. I'm trying to tell these guys what Joe Douglas is trying to do. If you guys want to, in the chat, give your grade for the Jets free agency so far and your reasoning. See what you guys think. PFF has this as the third most improved team so far. Yeah, Brian, I saw that as well. Pro Football Focus says that these 4 teams have been the most improved in free agency. The Jets, I think the Patriots, and I forgot the other 2. And then I also saw teams that gave out the worst contracts. And I'm very thankful the Jets are not on that list because we used to be. We used to definitely be on that list. Let's see. Richie, what's good, Richie? Jets building a young squad. Good take, Richie. Appreciate it. B+, not too much money and some solid player. I agree, Michael. Jets mess gives the Jets a D. This is the same picks as last year. All guys who never lived up to their hype. William says A+, you can get only a few dominant players. Everything else is replaceable. I agree. Douglas gets between an B and an A-, mainly for what he didn't do, not address guard and cornerback. I understand why, though, but it would have been nice. Yeah, I agree, man. We also have to realize that free agency is not over yet. So these grades are just like what we are giving them now, right? Because a week from now, we'll definitely get to more understanding of how free agency went because there's still a lot of players available, still a lot of more money to be spent. Brian gives him an A. Only thing I didn't like was that we didn't get Thuney, but I'm glad we didn't overpay and give him 20+ mil. Yeah, man. See that Joe Thuney contract that the Chiefs gave him? Like, the Chiefs, I don't know where they get the money to do that, but it's really interesting because a lot of people are saying that contract was not good for the Chiefs, and Joe Thuney could be somebody that if the Jets put a lot of money into, a lot of guaranteed money into, he's getting up there in age, could have been one of those disaster signings. That's all I got to say because you're paying Joe Thuney for his previous success and you're banking on him remaining that good for 5 years. So I'm not saying I wouldn't have wanted Joe Thuney, but maybe the Jets dodged a bullet there. Carl Lawson better than Khalil Mack. We'll see, man. Imagine. A B-. Let's see. Carl Lawson and Corey Davis are steals. I agree. Both very young with high upside. They have not hit their peaks yet. That's the type of free agency that Joe Douglas is trying to do. And you guys heard me preach about it, so I'm not going to do it all over again. But I'm excited, man. We still need some O-line and CB depth, in my opinion. You are 100% right. Those are 2 positions that Douglas have not tackled yet, but don't even think for a second he does not know that. Let's just wait for the process. I tweeted out yesterday saying, please do not judge this offseason until after the draft. And everybody assumed that tweet meant, just judge this offseason on the draft. Like, no, what I meant by that is we have not seen all the free agency signings yet. We have not seen the trades he has done yet, and we have not seen the draft picks. All 3 of those done, when we see the trades, when we see all the free agency signings, when we see all the draft picks, that's when we can actually be giving him a real grade because it's a little premature, in my opinion, for people to be on top of Douglas right now and saying, no. Like, let him finish and then judge him. If you don't like his signings and draft picks after the fact, then you're entitled to do that. But to be on him right now is a little premature.
For sure.
Do you think Sherman will turn into another Tremaine Johnson, as you said, if Sherman does reunite with Saleh? Well, the difference between this is Sherman's not going to get a contract Tremaine Johnson did. So that's why I'm okay with Sherman coming in here for like a 2-year, $18 million contract, 2-year, or even 1 year, $8 million. I'm okay with that because Sherman's value on this team would be so much more than his play on the field. I don't think you can compare because we gave Tremaine Johnson the bag, 5-year deal, ridiculous guaranteed money, and it was not fun at all. True, we got to be patient. Facts. Justin Fields is in the building. What's good, Justin?
Hmm.
Good luck at your pro day.
What up, Justin?
When will we make our decision on Sam? Who knows? Jack, when are they going to do it, man? I mean, they're not going to like tweet out like, hey guys, we made our decision. So we don't know. John
I
is
don't
in the
know,
building.
man. It just seems like that the window on moving Sam just gets smaller and smaller by the day, you know? So we'll see what happens.
Facts. If we keep Sam, we should bring back Josh McCown to help mentor him, something he needs. He does need mentoring. Indeed, you do that, eh? So we're still chilling here. Let's get on Twitter and see if there's any news. Nope. We got a super chat from HV8019. Thank you so much. Just got to the live. Do you think that the Texans are involved in the Watson allegations to devalue him and for other teams not to require his services? Yeah, man, the Deshaun Watson stuff is getting crazy. He's has a lot of files against him. Ali, what are your thoughts on all this Deshaun Watson allegations? And do you think that the Texans are involved?
I don't think it's the Texans involved, but I think there's just fans going after him. If everything checks out and there's nothing wrong with him, I think his agent tweeted something out about sexual harassment or something like that earlier today. But I don't think it's really him, because it doesn't seem like that's something that Deshaun Watson will do, and a lot of players said that know him, and so I don't know. I just know that for a fact that until these allegations are cleared, he's not getting traded, because no other team will want him with all these allegations, because you're going to have to give a lot of draft capital. You're going to have to give a lot of your team's capital to get Deshaun Watson. So they're not going to take any risks with that. But if it drags into the draft and stuff like that, and it takes more than a month or two, the Jets are going to have to make a decision real quick, because they got the draft coming up. And then you got Justin. You got to realize what decision. You can't stop for one player, even if it's Deshaun Watson. Even with all this going on, but obviously, all these teams are looking at it. I think the Eagles joined They called his agent or whatever. They called the Texans as well. So I don't know why the Eagles would do that, but a lot of people are involved. And I think every team almost in the NFL are looking at what Deshaun Watson is going to happen, what's going on with these allegations. Are these true or whatever there is? Because I think they're up to 6-7 now that are against him. So it's going to take a while to clear all of them out. And it's just an odd time, man. It's so odd that it's just wow, you had to do it now when he pretty much was going to get traded, because they signed Tyrod Taylor. They signed another backup quarterback as well. So I think they're seeing that they could probably move him eventually, because he does not want to be there anymore. And these allegations are actually probably going to push him even more to leave. But we'll see what happens. We're just going to have to see exactly what's going on and see if these are true. But no one's going to trade until these allegations are cleared.
Yeah, it's going to be it's crazy, the timing of this, to be honest, man, that he's just getting all of this.
Skeptical.
Very skeptical, in my opinion. Very sus. I just read an article from Ralph Vacchiano giving us a little update on the Jets' salary cap, where they're at. So right now, the Jets have roughly around $23 million in cap space remaining. And they need to save around $8 to $10 million of that 23 on their draft class. So, and they also have the flexibility to gain more cap space with cuts and restructured contracts. So they definitely have enough to get somebody. I don't think they're going to – I think they spent their big bucks. I think nobody's going to get a lot of money like Corey Davis and Lawson did. That's why I don't think they're going after Kyle Fuller, because he's going to want a lot of money, and they don't want to spend a lot of money on somebody that was good in the past. But I don't know, man. We should expect more moves, especially at the cornerback position. But we'll see, man. Johnny says Joe Douglas is a fat clown. If Watson doesn't get traded before the draft, that is leverage for the Jets. Could be, JC. It could be. We'll see what happens, man. So we're still waiting to see any other breaking news. If we're lucky, we'll get one, but we're never lucky, I guess. We're just what do you want to talk about, Jack? What's on your mind with the Jets?
I don't know, dude. I'm like so burnt out.
Me too.
5 days just staring at my computer screen waiting for something to happen, and like nothing's happened while we're on the air. So yeah, thinking about how hungry I am right now. I'm thinking about what I'm gonna be making for lunch and then what I'm gonna be making for dinner.
Lunch,
And,
it's 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I haven't had lunch either.
I gotta eat lunch soon, man.
Yeah, I gotta go. I have pasta ready to go.
Oh man.
Um,
It's tough out here, man.
Adoree Jackson.
Grind, man. It's a grind.
So there's an update on Adoree Jackson, right, Ali? Do you want to give them the update? Is there?
I mean, I think he's visiting with the Giants and with the Eagles. Both of those teams, I think. Yeah, that's pretty much it. He's just going in for a visit.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's going to New York, might as well just come to Forum Park too. Like, you're not far.
Yeah, man. We'll
I mean,
see.
if he goes to Forum Park, Robert Salah's not letting him out the door. So
Facts. Should we take some callers or what should we do here?
I don't know, man.
I mean, I'm probably here for another like 20 minutes because I gotta go eat.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a super long one for me, man. I gotta get some food in the system.
Yeah, man. Whatever you
They
gotta
like your
get
new
out.
hat, Jack. They like your new hat.
Yeah, I'm repping my high school, man. I was gonna wear a Jets beanie today, to match my jersey, but way too tight on my head. Gotta loosen that somehow.
Anybody
Yeah.
Anybody in the stream that bought merch, I shipped them out today, by the way. So thank you guys for buying it. They should be shipping your way as we speak. Went to the post office, wrote you guys a little note. So thanks for everybody that bought Jets Media merch.
Here's a Deshaun Watson update. There's 12 women against Deshaun Watson now.
God.
We'll file the remaining 5 cases. Beyond those 12, there's 10 additional women regarding Watson.
Doesn't he have a girl? He does have a girl.
Yeah, he does.
The hell? It's ridiculous.
This is bad. Like, it sucks for him. If this is all false, it sucks for him because his trade value is just going down the drain right now.
Yeah, man, that is ridiculous. So we want to talk about Zach Wilson and Justin Fields' pro days coming up.
Yay!
For sure. Yeah, dude. Twitter was freaking out this morning because Zach Wilson threw a football with basketball shorts on.
Yeah,
in an open practice facility.
I've learned the hard way not to.
I don't understand it. I
don't
just
you
don't understand freaking out over NFL quarterbacks. Not yet, obviously, but they're gonna be NFL quarterbacks just throwing a football with no defense, not even wearing shoulder pads. Like, cool. Like, they better make every throw look amazing if you're about to be an NFL quarterback and you're just throwing the ball around to a wide open receiver in an open field. Like, I just don't understand people freaking out about it.
Yeah, man. I remember all the pro days in the 2018 draft and like being so hyped up. I remember seeing Sam's pro day. He was throwing in the rain and he probably had one of the best pro days like ever. And like, I'm not saying biased. It's like his footwork, his throwing the runs, like everything about Sam was beautiful. Now look at Sam. So, obviously pro days, you get to see everything from the quarterback. You get to see their footwork, you get to see their accuracy, but I'm not reading into pro days anymore as much as I used to after seeing what happened to Sam Darnold. Because for those guys that know and saw Sam's pro day, like I said, it was remarkable. They were hyping it up. NFL media was like, Sam, blow his pro day out of the water. One of the best pro days in a long time. And now look where Sam Darnold is, guys. So I would say that when you're going into the pro days of Justin Fields and Zach Wilson. But it's definitely going to be very interesting seeing what happens.
It's just crazy because people are literally freaking out over. Like, we should film ourselves having a catch and throw it on Twitter and see if it pops off. Like, I really, it's lost on me. It really is getting so beyond hyped about a throw like that. I don't get it.
I mean, the pro days is something cool because you get to see the velocity of the throws, you get to see how their arm looks, you get to see their footwork.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that players are going to do.
I understand that aspect, but to sit there and be like, oh my God, did you see that throw? Like, nobody else can do that. Like, it's like, we need this guy. Like, dude, come on. Like, come on. I don't even know what else to say.
Jack doesn't like Jets Twitter.
He doesn't.
No, I do.
You don't.
I love the Jets fans, but I mean, Twitter, sometimes Twitter is just a crazy.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I love, dude. I mean, I'm a crazy passionate Jets fan myself, so gotta respect everybody.
Yeah, yesterday I got attacked by like 100 like Twitter accounts yesterday because I remember I think it was November or December I said Juju about like his dancing and stuff, but I never criticized him in a way where like I was just like, oh, he's a terrible player or whatever, and people were just making that up that I thought he was a terrible player, but I was just like, this is a distraction of him dancing or whatever, and then people just don't understand that your opinions can change. It's 6 months later. I mean, I feel like everyone has flip-flop with Juju for the last like 6 months, and I feel like 2 weeks ago, probably no one wanted Juju. There's no way anyone wanted Juju at all. And then 2 weeks later, oh, the Jets are interested. Oh, I love Juju, and that's what everyone literally started saying. And I'm just like, I'm looking at the positive rather than negatives for you to help you out to figure out. I'm just like, so stupid. But anyways, I was like, what the hell is going on? I was like, I tweeted something out. And I'm just like, it just blew up. And I just looked at the comments and just hate comments. And we're like, what the hell? What the hell just happened? And I'm just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, they called out Ali on Twitter, man. I was like, damn, you can't do that to my guy. What's going on, man?
And I'm just like, whatever, dude.
That's what happens. Guys are ruthless out there all over the place.
I don't hate the guy who posted it, though. He was pretty much asking why I changed my mind on him. But, like, obviously, the Jets Twitter, they went overboard with that comment. So
silly, man.
You got caught in 4K. Dude, I caught you in 4K and 8K.
Stupidest shit on planet Earth, man. I can't even get into it. It's literally a bunch of children.
Nah, man. But the guy that tweeted out, like you said, Ali, he's one of the best Jets Twitter accounts.
No, yeah, he DM'd me, we messaged, and we're good with him. I'm good with him, but like Jets Twitter, I'm not good with. Like a lot of those troll accounts. There's one troll account called like Dwell Logins or whatever, and like he always is just like bashing every little page. You probably know which one I'm talking about.
Yep, I know exactly which account you're talking about. But yeah, so we're just getting into Jets Twitter, man. But it's a dark place. It's also a great place. I love Jets Twitter, but sometimes it gets toxic because we're all super passionate and the Jets have sucked for so long, so we're all just taking out of our depression on each other. I think that's what it comes down to. So, I mean, listen, man, we wanted to go live today and see if any news breaks so we can give you guys our initial thoughts. I don't think that anything's happening right now, unfortunately.
No.
We're approaching 4:00 p.m. Maybe when the sun goes down, we'll see some other news come out. But
yeah, we should do more late night shows, but I feel like a night is a better chance that something breaks.
Yeah, I'm available later if you guys wanna hop back on for sure. But I need some food. I need
energy. That's what I need.
Maybe
I need
like a 25-minute cat nap just for some energy, like you just said.
Michael says it's now up to 22 cases against Watson. He's not coming. Yeah, I don't think Douglas is going to trade for somebody that has 22 cases against them. That's ridiculous. What the hell?
That is
Wow.
nuts.
Like maybe this is something. And I don't know, man. I haven't really got into the logistics of the whole allegations of what actually he did yet. Like I'm not really super into it because I'm still worried about my Jets, what the hell they're doing. And I got the Knicks still playing last night. They copped a dub. So there's a lot of stuff going on that I'm not really focusing on Deshaun Watson. But yeah. Any thoughts on the 22 cases against Watson? Like I didn't know. Did you know that, Ali?
Yeah, I just told you.
You said 22?
Yeah, I said 10, and then he has 12, and then he has 10 more.
Oh wow, I didn't do the math in my head. I don't know if I believe it. Like it seems like such.
It's all
I
over
don't
the
know.
place.
Who did Lamarcus Joyner sign with? He signed with our New York Jets. Yes, he did. We signed Lamarcus Joyner to a 1-year deal. We also signed Carl Lawson, Corey Davis, Jarrad Davis, and we're interested in. There's people answering calls on C.J. Mosley,
Keelan Cole. Don't sleep on Keelan Cole.
Keelan Cole as well. Shout out to Keelan Cole. What's good, Keelan? How you doing there?
Dan Feeney, whatever his name is.
Dan Feeney, the mullet, the stash. Don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on him at all. But yeah, man, it's a little slower live stream today because there's not really
We're
any.
just done. I think we're all just done in this week.
Jets media is drained out. It's washed. We're washed up now.
I didn't get home until like 2 o'clock from work, 2 a.m. So I'm just kind of just like not there in the brain. So
You're not there.
I am not there.
All right. Bold predictions. Let's get into some bold predictions. Who's making the Pro Bowl for the Jets, if any, next year? Jack, I'll start with you.
Quinnen Williams for sure. Mekhi Becton for sure. That's a good start, I think.
Yeah, I think you can
those
just.
two.
Okay. How about you, Ali?
You want to be bold?
Oh, we're being bold, man. This is bold predictions where we're going to come back and look at this exact news and see if we were right or wrong.
Corey Davis, dude. Corey Davis. I just think he's a
He has
perfect
Pro
fit
Bowl
for this.
potential for sure.
I think he just has. I think people are underestimating what he can do with his offense. I think people are underestimating what he could literally be like our top receiver in this league. I really do think that. I think he's gonna be like when we saw remember when we had Eric Decker? I feel like he could be like that guy who's always there catching touchdowns and stuff, and he will be a big part of this offense. I think he will be. I think that's the bold prediction for me.
I like that. I say Quinnen Williams and Mekhi Becton, like Jack mentioned. Marcus May has an opportunity too, because he's still on a contract year. He wants to get paid, even though he's still making good money this year. And I think Dan Feeney has a chance to make the Pro Bowl. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Yeah, I can't get ahead of ourselves. I mean, we're a 2-win team last year. I definitely think Quinnen Williams and has the opportunity under Coach Saleh. I mean, he has Pro Bowl potential written all over him. I love the Corey Davis bold take because he was drafted 5th overall. It's not like he's a 6th-round pick that just became good, but top 5 pick in the NFL, especially for a wide receiver. You have potential. Carl Lawson is a dark horse. I don't think he's going to make the Pro Bowl, but I can be wrong. I think the biggest thing with Corey Davis is he needs to be healthy. If he's healthy all season long, then he has a big chance. I also think Carl Lawson, because he's been battling injuries early on in his career, if he can stay healthy, I think Lawson can definitely hit double-digit sacks. Because his duty is going to be getting to the quarterback. Lawson's not a run stopper guy at all. We got a run stuffer in Foley. So that's my poll predictions. Who the hell is our quarterback? That's another bold take. I don't even want to get into it. Who knows? It's going to be Zach Wilson. Is it going to be Trey Lance?
Honestly, I have my gut feeling is to already stick with Sam Darnold, but I feel like
I just don't know where Sam would get traded to right now. That's the one thing I don't.
And Joe
I
Douglas
just feel like
is going to take
I think one of
5
these
draft
pro days
picks.
are gonna blow Joe Douglas and LaFleur and Salah away. One of these rookies, and they're gonna draft one of these guys. That's what my thing is. I think one of these guys with Fields, even Trey Lance, that just happened already. And then like Justin Fields, Wilson. I feel like one of these guys are gonna blow them away, and they're gonna be like, "I'm gonna take this guy." But I don't know. I'm feeling more of like a Sammy vibe now. That's gonna be for next season, which is a big risk. But I'm not totally on board with it. I am like, I'll be like, all right, but there's a lot on the line if we go with him because there's just a lot to lose too.
Facts, man.
Unless we trade him to the Texans and we get Deshaun Watson, I'll take that.
NYJ Mike just tweeted a quote tweet of the Zach Wilson throw, and it was a beautiful throw of Sam Darnold in basketball shorts. Very similar throw. It just shows that it's true. I mean, any NFL quarterback can do something crazy with their footwork, and I remember getting so excited of Sam's like workouts.
Remember his beach videos?
Yeah, I know. They were nuts. Like, they really were nuts. And I'm not being, like, biased. Like, if you watched it, it looks like a quarterback that is nuts. But when Sam puts the pads on, he obviously has a lot of issues scanning the field and making decisions. So there's a lot more to the quarterback position than being able to have good footwork and a good arm. That's all I got to say. Comes down to way more than that. We will
Richie,
see.
are you a secret Bills fan? King J said.
I am actually King J. After going to Brockport, upstate New York, I became a Bills fan. Oh, man. So, yeah, we're not doing a super long live stream today, but we wanted to go live for a little bit because we wanted to see if any news breaks. And nothing really happened.
Hey, at least we had stuff to talk about this time around, at least.
Yeah, I mean, we get another person saying, imagine being a Jets fan. And guess what? I don't need to imagine it, Drew Brees, because I am a Jets fan. So I'm living through it, man. It's fun.
I respect you, Drew Brees, though. My favorite quarterback.
And he's got a Patriots. He's got
Cam
Cam Newton
Newton
as his picture, though. So
also,
bro, Cam Newton can't throw like 10 yards, bro.
But again, I don't need to imagine it.
Yeah, I'm living it.
I'm living
a bold prediction. We beat the Patriots twice.
That is bold.
That's a very bold prediction.
All right, guys. Any other last takes you guys want us to do before we end the stream? Let us know in the chat. James Morgan's future, he's going to be our whoever our quarterback's going to be, he's going to be a stud, and then he's going to get injured, and then James Morgan takes over, and he's going to go take us to the Super Bowl and win it. That's his future.
Can you imagine if a couple years down the road, like James Morgan is like a stud quarterback for the Jets, and then Joe Douglas is just like the king of New York?
He'd be sipping tea.
Yeah.
The king of New York. All right, Jack, go on a rant right now. Why do you want Phil Lindsay again? Or just say you want him.
1,000-yard rusher, his first 2 seasons, selected to the Pro Bowl his rookie year. I think he's a dog. He's got breakaway speed. He's super explosive. He could catch the ball. He could run between the tackles. He could run off tackle. He could just do everything you want in a utility kind of running back spot. He's coming off of an injury, so we could get him for the low, sign him to a cheap deal. And I think he's a Robert Saleh, Joe Douglas, prototype, exactly what they're looking for in a player. And yeah, I would be ecstatic if we signed him. I think that'd be probably my favorite signing of the entire free agency.
We should have dropped a beat. I mean, that tone was literally like a rap.
Yeah, it was. Thoughts on Sam handling all of this? Sam is the ultimate professional. Yeah, man. The one thing about Sam Darnold that you got to give him a shit ton of credit for is his demeanor and his personality of handling the media, because being a quarterback for the Jets is not easy, and especially when you suck. His third year, he was playing really bad, as we know. So I give him a lot of credit because, getting asked these questions like, are you our future? he's scrolling through Instagram and he's seeing the New York Jets Instagram posting mock drafts of them taking a quarterback. So I think Sam is definitely handling this like a man, and I'm really curious to hear what he thinks. And I definitely think that if Joe Douglas is moving on from Sam, he's going to have open conversations and let him know, like, listen, Sam, we think it's best for both parties and move on. And we'll see. Who are the Jets cornerbacks? Right now, we have a glaring hole at starter, unless, Robert Saleh sees a lot in Bryce Hall and Bless Austin. But those two are starting quarterbacks as of right now. I expect us to add one in free agency and the draft. Gangrene says Sam will be the starter next year. I'm sold on that. Not a lot of Jets fans are sold on that, so we'll see about that.
I would love it if he was the starter next year.
You don't have any worries if he's the starter, Jack?
I would love it. Love it. Because that means that Joe Douglas gets to just get even more in-depth with his drafting. And we can just have a brolic, studly team with everybody on a rookie contract. Honestly, since free agency begun, and you told me what Green Bean was telling you about the haul that we could get for that second pick, that's all I've been thinking about, man. And I feel like that's all Joe Douglas will be thinking about as well.
The one thing, though, we have to realize is Joe Douglas also said he thinks the quarterback position is the most important position in any sport. So that he's looking at these quarterbacks and saying that second overall pick, it's valuable. You can get a haul. But if he loves Zach Wilson, if he loves Justin Fields, if he loves Trey Lance, I would not, cancel out him drafting a quarterback because he knows how important the quarterback position is. And if he's not unsold on Sam, I definitely think he's going to take a quarterback. But listen, man, we got like around a month until we finally get the answer. I honestly don't know. I mean, dude, when the Jets are on the clock at 2, I don't know what I'm going to do. Would throw up.
We'll be live, right?
Make sure you guys stay tuned. We'll be live during it, so you get to see me throw up live. I can't handle it. Every year on the draft, I see the Jets on the clock. I'm like, oh man, nah, I don't know.
It's gonna be a long night because we have the 23rd pick too, so it's gonna be a long night.
Yeah, I'm down. And then second round, the next night we'll be live for it. I'm gonna be live during the entire draft. So from rounds 1 through 7, it's a 3-day process.
I'm down live too.
Make sure you guys stay tuned for that. We're gonna get ordering some food, have a nice draft party.
Let's have a watch party together. I think I'll be vaccinated too, so.
Yeah, if you want to pull up, we can set up I can bring my camera in my den and set up the camera.
I can bring my mic and stuff too. So
yeah, we can set that up. All right, guys. We're gonna end the stream here. Thank you guys for tuning in. It was a nice 1.5 hour live stream. We've been going for 3 hours in the past week, but we're gonna cut it in half this time because it's we're a little washed up. We need to get some sleep and some water and some food in the system because we're going to next time you see us, we're going to be blind. You guys notice I'm wearing glasses now. They're blue light glasses to protect me from this light.
I actually ordered mine today.
Yeah. Put up, Siri. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I need it, man. I got mine upstairs.
It's like $20. It's not that expensive.
All right, guys. If you guys did not hit that thumbs up button, make sure you do so on your way out. And do not forget to subscribe as well. Also, subscribe to Ali's YouTube channel, Official Loyal NY Jets Fans. And check out Jack on Instagram at Jack McGalley Music. Thank you guys so much for tuning in as always. Stay tuned for more Jets content. Hopefully we get some breaking news tonight, tomorrow, the day after. I don't know when, but we'll find out. Appreciate everybody tuning in as always. Let's go Jets.
Let's go Jets.
See you guys.
Peace, guys.
Later.